Hello, and welcome to another episode of Automate Office Work. I'm your host, Justin. Today's episode is monthly reports. For those of you who are following live on LinkedIn, feel free to leave comments and questions, and I'll try to leave some time at the end also so that if anyone does want to come on with me live, we can have a chat about today's topic or any other topic that you would like. The link for that is on the LinkedIn event post for this episode. All right, so today's episode, I do have some notes. You can follow along if you would like to. It's at automateofficework.com/monthly_reports, as well as I do have a sample showing this in action that is there that you can go to and try it out yourself as well. It's not the full thing, but it does give enough of a demo that you can see what a solution like this looks and feels like. All right, so today, I need to also say that this content is being recorded for YouTube and Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And for everything that has a visual element to it, like YouTube and Spotify, and I guess also LinkedIn, you can follow along on the video if you would like. But I also want to make this content approachable for those who are listening to audio only. So even if you don't watch the video on my screen, I will try to describe everything that I am showing so that you can listen to this in audio only. All right, my name is Justin Turman. I'm a techie lawyer. I studied computers and linguistics before becoming a corporate lawyer. And then as a corporate lawyer, I started just automating. I didn't go straight to automating. I started with standardizing, digitizing, optimizing, and then finally automating. And I did this for all of my admin work, including today's topic, monthly reports. So the problem with monthly reports is they suck for everyone involved. It's the last day of the month, and the manager needs to compile a list of interesting things the team has worked on to pass it up to their manager, who will then pass the report along with other team reports up to the department head. The problem is that team members struggle to think back, what did I work on the last 30 days? They hastily give the manager a list of things. The manager has to reword and format the monthly reports. The manager complains that team members don't remember the important things and they are submitting things with the wrong wording, forcing the manager to spend hours rewording things. What are the team members supposed to do? They never see the finished product anyway, so how can they know how the manager wants things worded? So many things are wrong here. The trick here is to realize that the monthly report is not just made in isolation. Ideally, the list of activities everyone has worked on should be available to review in their weekly team meetings. And these weekly reports are made up of daily tasks done by team members. So even something as simple as the manager asking, "What are you working on today?" should be answered by looking at a page showing the daily tasks of the team members. Each level feeds into the next. And going the other way, the monthly reports should feed into a yearly report. So let's start at the very beginning with a team members task page. All right, I'm going to show this. Scroll down to the very bottom of the page, and I do have an example of this. Okay, so on my page, I do have along the top, I have some tabs. And the first tab that is chosen, it says individual. So this is my individual page. The other tabs are team, and then week one, which you could have a different tab for each week of the month so far. Let's imagine that my team is only in week one of the current month. So we have 1 week's of stuff to look at. The next tab is monthly. And the last tab that I have here is archive. Okay. On this individual tab that I have, when I loaded this, it automatically shows the content on my individual page. It has my name, Justin Turman, at the top, and then it's got this one has 3 sections of different kinds of data that my manager would like to be able to see and to be able to know. So I worked on this tool for a team, and the manager and the team members complained. The manager wanted to know, what is everybody working on each and every day? The manager also wanted to know, what are your priorities? What are the top three things that you are working on that you're concerned about? Maybe it's like long-term strategy or long-term goals as well. And lastly, the manager wanted to know, what do you need from me? What do I need to do so that you can be supported and successful? Okay, so I talked with the team members. How do you feel about the manager? Asked, um, turning to you every single day and asking the same questions. They said that, frankly, they were annoyed. They said that they wished that the manager could just know what they were working on and stop bugging them. If I need something from my manager, I will reach out and let them know. They don't need to reach out every single day, kind of robotically asking the same questions. Okay, so in order to facilitate this communication, I created this individual page where the individual manages these different things, these different uh, a list of tasks that they are working on. I have here review FedEx MSA is on one line of my tasks. I do have a checkbox next to each item of things that I'm working on. I can, as soon as I check the box, then it is noted that that item is done, and there is a line going through that item, kind of to show that you strike it off the list. Okay. Below that, so you do have a checkbox. You can check and uncheck. You do have the ability. You can click on any of these items, like review FedEx MSA. I can click on that, and it's editable. I can change that. Okay. And below that, at the bottom of the list, I have a text area, and I've got a button that says Add. And the text area, if it is blank, it says New Task. So this gives me the ability to add new tasks to my list. Okay. For this team as well, we integrated this into Outlook. So Outlook has its own different kinds of to-do lists, different tasks. You can convert emails that you get to become tasks inside of Outlook. And we did have an integration so that every time there was a new task in Outlook tasks, every time one was completed, every time it was edited, that same data was captured here as well. And so the two were linked. You could do the same kinds of actions with your to-do lists. You could do them in either place, either in Outlook or come here. Okay. In addition to what you're able to do in Outlook, below that, I have these two boxes that say my priorities and my needs. So this my priorities box, it's just a free form text box where I can type in anything. These are not tracked over time. As things change, as my priorities change, I can just update it here. My manager can see it, as well as my needs from my manager. I can just change those here. So those two things I could not do inside of Outlook. I would have to come here to be able to manage those. Okay. Also, well, let's go on to the next tab then. Okay, the next tab is for the entire team. And it looks kind of similar to this, only this team tab is meant for, this is how the manager can come and see what all the team members are working on, their priorities, the things that they need from the manager. It's all visible on one screen. So it's kind of like the individual page, but you put all the team members together, you can see it all in one place. So this is especially useful for the manager. They come, they want to see at the beginning of the day or the end of the day. They now don't have to reach out to all the team members. They can see right here at a glance. Okay. I did have a request from the manager of that team. The manager said, it sure would be nice if I could add items to a member's to-do list. They said that they often ask people to do things. They'll send an email or they'll call them or talk to them randomly in the hallway or something. Well, that doesn't happen anymore because we're all so spread out and over teams, but they said that they would assign a task, but it was never written down, never recorded, and the team members, well, honestly, they kind of figured out that you can just ignore the manager because the manager has like different ideas come into their head. All of a sudden, they don't write it down, they don't remember it, and it doesn't matter anyway. You just let it go for a couple of days and it disappears. So you don't actually need to do it. So the manager actually caught on to this and said, can you give me the ability to add a task to people? So that's what we did here as well on this page. At the bottom of each person's task list, it does say new task. There's a text area. The manager can click on add button and the task actually gets added to each member. Okay. This is also, I guess, in a not so kind of a critical or negative sounding way. It also allows the manager to write down things that the team members are actually doing, so that they can get recognized appropriately. You know, members are doing certain things. They need to be recognized that they're for the work that they're doing. So this gives the manager the ability to do that. Okay. So that's the individual tab and the team tab. At the end of a week, each week there's a new tab as the month progresses. And let's say we have a weekly team meeting. The team can all together open this week one tab. And here they find a list. This isn't the things that people are working on, it's the things that everybody finished in the previous week. So now imagine you're in a team meeting and you don't have to just blindly, well, the manager doesn't just have to say, what is everybody working on? And then, there's the awkward silence. Nobody wants to say what they're working on because we're all working on different things. Maybe we think that our stuff is routine, maybe boring, and they're waiting for somebody else to say something that is interesting. The manager then has to just go around the horn, is the phrase that they often say. And this is meetings with no real agenda, no, well, I can't say no, but it's a decreased motivation to talk about things that are substantial and will push the team forward in working in a better way. So an alternative to that is what I'm presenting here. You just show what everybody worked on the previous week. And now the manager has the ability to see at a glance what everybody did. And they can say, instead, Justin, what did you work on? Instead, they can say, Justin, I see you did this one task. That sounds kind of interesting. Can you tell me more? That is a much better, well, that is a very different dynamic of team meetings that I think can make your team meetings just a little bit better, as well as the things that you talk about are recorded so that you can use them in your later reports instead of it just being ephemeral, speaking into the wind and not have anything written down. You have it. We're going through the life cycle of being recognized for your work. Okay, so on this page as well, you can click on any of these items. You can reword them. Let's say the manager can now reword things as things are being progressed. They can add a little bit more detail from the conversation. Me as an individual contributor, I might just give like 3 or 5 words. The manager might want to put a little bit more detail on there, so you can edit those as well. As well as the manager can also add new tasks onto here. Maybe they remember that, Justin, why didn't you add that one thing that I had you do? That's kind of interesting. So the manager could do that right here in the weekly meeting. Okay. So each week you'll get more and more tabs. This will grow. And then at the end of the month, instead of scrambling the last day of the month and everybody's wondering, what did I work on? Instead, you can make a recurring meeting with your whole team the very last day of the month or the last Friday of the month. And you just have a 30-minute meeting where everybody goes to this monthly tab. And on the monthly tab, I've got in the top right corner, there's a button that says submit. On the top left, it says monthly report. The next line, it says the name of my team, which here it says diagnostics legal team. And then the next line, it has the month and year. So today we're in July 2025. After that, we have all the items that everybody in the team worked on. So I've got one that says reviewed FedEx MSA. That's a master services agreement. In the top right corner of that item, it has the team member's name who did it. And you've got a trash can icon along the top of this item. I do have these like a waffle kind of a icon. It's supposed to be three sets of vertical dots, and you hover over that, your mouse becomes a grabbing hand. So it shows that you can click and you can drag. So you can drag the items around, you can reorder them, you can click on the trash, you can click on the text, it becomes editable. So this is the team just working on rewording things, cleaning things up. Maybe you have separate items that you can consolidate. So I guess you would copy and paste from one into another to combine them. The names are useful because it lets you know like who submitted it, but ultimately you do have to reword. And instead of just saying prepared annual report, you would say who did it. You'd say like Justin prepared the annual report. And you might say, give even more details, like what is the purpose of this? What is the outcome? What were the benefits? Things that are useful for people reading this report. Okay, so when we are all done with this, which should be very, very quickly, you click on the submit button and all of this data is compiled into a document. And it's ultimately converted to PDF and it is placed into the archive tab. So I click on the archive tab and I have a list of all the monthly reports submitted by any team. So ideally, all the other teams in the department could be using the same exact tool, and then their monthly reports become visible to everybody else. So we have different columns here. It says there's a table, and the very top header, it says team, year, month, PDF. Under that, I have just one row of a report so far, but it says diagnostics legal team, year is 2025, month is July, and under PDF, I have a PDF icon. I can click on that PDF icon and it opens a PDF of my report, which granted, I did not make it very pretty and beautiful, but you can style this. And so it makes it really so your team is not working on the formatting, but you go straight to working on the content. You let the tool take care of the formatting. So you can focus on the activities that you did instead of struggling and messing around with margins and like indentations and stuff. Okay. So come back here. So another benefit that I see to making these reports across the department visible is that you don't just have data going up. You don't just have it going to your department head and nobody else knows what's on the reports of other teams. I believe that departments can get benefit from this because let's say I am working on a certain project and unbeknownst to me, somebody in another team is working on a very similar project. So if they open my report and see what I worked on, or vice versa, I open their report and see what they worked on, we can become aware that we're both working on the same project. And then that gives us the ability to collaborate or at least communicate with each other and exchange best practices, you know. So I see this as a very big benefit of, doing this, as well as all the other benefits that you're seeing. Okay. Now I could have included some other tabs going even further. You might think, well, what about a yearly report? You know, maybe teams have to do an end of year report and they have to talk about the major things that they did. And it's the same story again. Am I right? Like you have everybody is struggling, they're scrambling, thinking, what did we work on? And then you're trying not to forget things that perhaps you were doing in January and you don't remember that they were in January. You thought they were in the previous year or whatever. And this, as well as the same thing, you can archive these. You can allow everybody to see them. I would even offer this to your department head, because the department head might also be creating some kind of an end of year report that goes to the CEO or the board of directors. They want to be able to make a good report as well. And so as they are receiving these monthly reports, each of the items could then feed into a tool for an annual report for them as well. Okay. I do want to mention that your team and your department might also have certain categories that you want your items to go into. Let's say you have like strategic priorities and you only want to be working on things like let's say that protect the company, or things that are innovative. There are different buckets that you might want to actually be putting these things into. And so even on this monthly report, you might categorize these things, and you might actually have like one of these. Oh, well, you might have like 3 or 4 of these headings that say like protect the company and innovate. And you might have those to where you can't move those around, but everything else you can move around under these different kind of block sections. Okay. And as you do that, the system knows what the items are under, so you can categorize them. Either categorize them here or categorize them as you're completing and you're doing your weekly or your team other tasks. I don't know. You can do it in different ways, right? So then, as you as you submit these to your department head then has a list of items that were done in the department under these different categories, these different initiatives. So then when they have to report at the end of the year how these different initiatives were pushed forward by your department, maybe they're company-wide initiatives, they have a lot of content, okay? And then they might reword things and consolidate things, but a tool like this can be very useful. So don't just think about your team, bring it back to you as an individual. Uh, don't just think that things are chaotic and that there is no way that we can bring order to these things. There's always a way. There's always a way to make things better. We are ultimately in charge of the way that we do our work, and we are empowered. We can put processes around things, and we can make things better. All right. So I think that's enough for today. Like, I've only been going for like 20 minutes. I want to see if I'm getting any comments. People are liking the event. Yeah. All right. And I'll see also if there are any more comments. All right. I don't see any comments. If you would like to come on today's episode or any future episode, you'll need to come on live, of course. I'm on live on LinkedIn most Fridays around 3 or 4 p.m. It's Amsterdam time, which is about, what is that? I think that's 6 hours ahead of US Eastern time. And yeah, I'm happy to have you guys on. I hope you're enjoying this content. You can reach out to me, Justin, at automateofficework.com. My website is automateofficework.com. You can find all kinds of great resources there. I am a consultant in this space after having already automated all of my office work. Anything that you can think up, we can automate. We can do it better. You might be thinking about jumping straight to AI. I would kind of be cautiously optimistic about that. Like, yes, go ahead and try. You'll probably be able to get like some basic things. You might be able to even get like 70% of the way to what you need, but there is a final like 30% that the AI currently cannot do. You really need to know your own process. You need to know what good looks like, and you have to have your process down. You have to know what people do at different steps and be able to convey that to a computer, because computers follow instructions. If you can't give instructions to a computer, the generative AI, at least currently, is just going to start making stuff up. It doesn't know the different departments that exist and the different people in them that need to be involved and how to do different steps. So I would say get your stuff in order first. Start writing down your process. Make it so that there is a process. So it's not just chaos done by everybody. Write it down and find out what everybody does and what do they need. Like if you send something to legal, you probably can't just send them garbage. You need to know what do they need. And then start working with them. Give them exactly what they need, and then you can stop these like weeks and weeks of emails going back and forth. Just do it in a single email, or even better, a form that captures the exact data points that are needed by people. And then don't just keep your request in somebody's email box. Make it so it's in a permanent kind of an archive where you can see your request, and then you can go look up the progress yourself. And so you don't have to email legal asking, where are we with this? No, you can go see yourself. And if there's anything that you need to do to push it along, you can do it. And there's a history, and everybody knows where everything is. Okay, so I'm a huge advocate of this. Let's bring order to the chaos, and we have the ability to do it. A lot of it is just office work. And so, yeah, with that, I wish you guys great happiness and success on this journey of automating. Feel free to just take in all the content that I've been producing in this area. I have Today is episode 35 of this podcast, as well as articles and books and learning resources. And I am available if you need me. If you are overwhelmed in this, or if you don't have the resources that you need, I am available. I do consulting. I can point you in the right direction. I can help you make a plan, as well as I can actually create solutions as shown. Even today, I am able to create solutions that meet you exactly where you are and take you to where you need to go. You don't have to buy huge, complex solutions that require everybody to change their behavior. Instead, we can pinpoint exactly what needs to be done. We can identify where the work is being done now, and we can do simple things that connect the work from one stage to another and just make it go faster and smoother and easier for everybody. All right. So my name is Justin Turman. Feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn, currently in Amsterdam. I'm a lawyer, a coder, and linguist. And with that, I wish you all happy automating.